Hi, welcome back. I'm Dr. Patty.
Welcome back, Dr. Angela.
And today we're going to talk about something kind of fun, we think.
Yep.
So health can sometimes be a little bit challenging.
A lot challenging.
A lot challenging. It can be a little bit heavy. And it can be sometimes a struggle or take a bit of work. But one area where we can have a little bit of fun in our health and our health journey is through the use of essential oils.
Yeah, it feels like very creative. There's so much we can do. We can combine things.
Yeah, and it's not a complete science. Not that medicine is. It really is the practice and the art of medicine. But essential oils in particular, you can use your intuition.
Your feeling.
Just what you like and dislike. Maybe there's a scent that you're just really drawn to. And we believe that there's something to that. If you really like something, it might be something that your body is needing. So
physically or energetically, and so just tuning into that.
Yeah, so essential oils are a way to have a little bit of fun, to play with, your health, your medicine, to create yourself. And so today we want to talk about some common ailments that all of us may deal with, everything from colds, flus, sinus infections, to digestion, to depression, anxiety, and just a few oils that you might want to try to implement or incorporate to help those ailments.
Yeah, and the symptoms, and just see how they work for you. And some of them might be great and some of them may not resonate for you, and so just adjusting accordingly and just knowing that you're not going to do harm. Think of these almost as food essentially, but then they've become oils that we smell and they have an aroma, and so there's a lot of ways they're affecting our senses and our body.
And, as we absorb these essential oils, they go in through our olfactory system and actually get into our cells and affect us internally, mentally, emotionally, physically. So essential oils are one of those tools and medicines that are gentle, yet powerful and
effective.
fun. So not every medicine is gentle, powerful, and fun. So this is a great way to affect our own health.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll start with, one of the common ailments or symptoms that people experience are upper respiratory infections, colds, flus, things like that.
So think about things that come from infection. And so starting with that, things like oregano oil, very good for anything that's an infection.
And you'll also notice as we go along, not to interrupt, that some of the things that we take internally are also effective in the same way as an essential oil used topically or through a steam or a vaporizer, things like that. And we'll kind of also interject with different ways to use the oils. But yes, oil of oregano is fantastic as an antimicrobial.
Yep, thyme. Thyme's another really good one. It's a great antimicrobial. And so a lot of times when we have upper respiratory things, it's an infection, and oftentimes bacterial, it can be viral. And so anything that would be antimicrobial would be very effective for that.
Yeah, and we also love tea tree. Some of these are going to be ones that you've heard of, some may be new, but tea tree is also a great antimicrobial. And I've talked about both oregano oil and tea tree oil for cold sores and spot treating acne because it's very antibacterial and very cleansing. So
myrrh would be in that category as well, just very antimicrobial. But you had mentioned so once it goes into the sinuses or chest, so then in addition to the antimicrobial, we want to think about things that are really opening.
Yeah, so if you have an upper respiratory infection or just kind of cold flu going on and you're having a lot of congestion or stuckness, whether it's phlegm in the chest or sinuses clogged, or even allergies and you're having a lot of congestion, you can add oils like eucalyptus,
rosemary, anything opening, peppermint.
Peppermint, good for circulation, like you said, opening. And in this case, you can actually take a pot of hot water, add a couple drops of the oil in the water, and really just kind of breathe it in like a steam. Or I think you mentioned to me at one point adding essential oils to a hot washcloth as well, and just kind of adding that to your face and breathing that in and having the warmth on your face to kind of dilate those blood vessels and get blood flowing and circulation going as well.
Yeah, I mean, many of you who, go to gyms like Equinox or whatever, they do the cold towels with the eucalyptus that are in the little fridge, and so it's the same
A, I don't go to a fancy gym, and B, I barely work out, so I don't know what you're talking about. This is like you're speaking Greek to me.
Or the steam room, or sometimes, the nice essential oils. But yes, we can do this at home.
I've talked about in previous videos that I struggle with exercise.
Me too.
That time incorporating it, but
got to make it fun. It's the same concept as the essential oils.
It's true.
Yeah.
So no, I don't know about these fancy towels at Equinox, but I get the gist. Okay. So you can do it on a hot towel as well. So yeah.
I was also earlier thinking, sometimes when I've had patients coming into the office that are sick one after the other, just, wanting to keep the microbial content down in the air. So in this case, taking like a glass, water bottle and putting the drops of the different essential oils that smell really good, but it's actually like an anti-infective to spray into the air.
So I was going to go into this a little bit later in the video, but I actually use little bottles like this and make little formulas for myself personally that I carry around in my purse, as well as a slew of formulas that I keep in my office and use on patients and in the room. I do have an immunity one that has thyme and tea tree. This one I carry around my very fancy label. It's a Joy spray for myself, and it's just so easy. You just kind of like spray into the air. Yeah. So I do that immunity as well, and I put tea tree in there, oil of oregano, and thyme. Those are the three that I use, and we'll spray between patients, or if I feel like I'm kind of coming down with something. Yeah.
The other one I was saying earlier to Dr. Patty, which sounds kind of funny, but in my office, we have a restroom in the office, and I always just put essential oil drops in the toilet bowl as well. I know it sounds weird, but it actually works too.
That makes sense. They do say be mindful of flushing your toilet, and that when you poop and you flush your toilet, all that fecal matter goes in the air. So I do try to keep that the lid down.
Close the lid.
Great for using that mechanism to get essential oils and diffuse. Yeah. So who knew? The cheapest diffuser of all, your toilet. So we
all have one.
That's a great tip. I use essential oils a lot, and I've never put it in my toilet.
It's wonderful, and get rid of any of those fake chemical sprays and just start using nice natural essential oils in your toilets.
Definitely. So what are some other common ailments that people deal with?
Well, pain. Pain's a pretty big deal. Pain topically in other areas of our body, like knee pain or hip pain, things like that.
Dental.
So clove is a really good one for that.
Yeah, and that's a common one used even in babies for teething.
Super safe.
But we can use it
in local area.
But even adults who are having toothaches, we may not be teething, but we may have something going on. And then you could, if it's due to an infection, you can combine clove with maybe a little tea tree, dilute it, of course. One thing we want to mention is that you don't want to use essential oil straight on any mucous membranes or your skin.
You'll burn yourself.
It can be caustic. So diluting either just with water or with a carrier oil.
For spreading on the body topically.
So if you've got dental stuff going on, you can make a mouth rinse out of it, but you can combine an antimicrobial with the pain one and really help locally.
Yeah, I just got a wonderful new mouth product that's pretty much peppermint essential oil. So it's just so nice.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So speaking of pain, headaches are also a common
keeping us on track.
Common symptom that people experience, and depending on where the headache is coming from. So if it's due to stress and you're having a tension headache, which often happens, tension headaches often happen in your occiput, in the base of your skull,
your neck,
and more just like tight and tightness, kind of achy sort of headaches. You might want to try using lavender. Chamomile is another, because those are more calming and balancing to the nervous system, right?
Definitely, and releasing, relaxing. Yeah, definitely.
But if you have more of a circulatory
if there's a congestion kind of a thing happen, something like rosemary is very good at opening things up. Peppermint, again, opening things up.
So my first job in high school was at Origins, this cosmetics company that is pretty mainstream, but has a little bit of a bent towards more holistic philosophy. And I should have known back then that I would have become a naturopathic doctor, because even at 17 I was really drawn to like things that had herbs and were all natural and organic. And they, even though they were a cosmetic line, they had this little lotion that had peppermint oil in it, and it was specifically for headaches, and you would massage it into your temple. So that was actually my very, very first foray into essential oils, and I didn't even really know what it was back then. So peppermint definitely for more of like circulatory headaches and just kind of moving things. So, and a lot of these you'll find, a lot of these things you'll find will overlap. So we mentioned peppermint for opening the lungs and our sinuses, but also can be great for, crazy. Also can be great for feeling a little kooky, but also for headaches as well. But yes, speaking of, essential oils are really good for mood. Whether you're feeling anxious or whether you're feeling depressed or down. And some of these overlap as well. So for, what are some of your favorites, or what are some that you know of for anxiety?
Like I slather myself in lavender for sure. Love lavender.
And lavender is so good as an herb and an essential oil because it's an adaptogenic herb, not in the sense of like it's an adrenal herb, but that it adapts to what the body needs. So if you're feeling a little bit depressed, it's actually quite lifting. And if you're feeling anxious, it will help to calm you down.
Yeah, it feels kind of nurturing in certain ways.
So if you're feeling anxious, another good one that's one of my favorites, it's frankincense. Really grounding, helps to calm the nervous system. That's one that I really love.
Vetiver is one I read about a lot for anxiety. I haven't used it too much, but I know that that's on the list because it comes up when I look it up.
Bergamot. Bergamot and vetiver I feel like are sort of in the same
kind of earthy,
very grounding, calming, and speaking of things that overlap, ylang ylang also is good for anxiety, but also good for lifting and depression as well. So if you're making a formula that's kind of balancing for your mood, that would be one that you can put in either category.
So it's very cheery kind of smell.
But earthy at the same time. You know?
Kind of warm.
And like herbs, a lot of these have different properties that affect many different categories. It can be earthy but cheery.
Speaking of cheery, just all the citrus. So, if you're depressed, any kind of lemon or grapefruit can, just be very uplifting.
And not to keep harping on it, but peppermint also very lifting. So as I mentioned before, like you can combine these. The whole point of this video is that like use your senses, use your intuition, use your, what you like and don't like to try mixing and matching some of these, and maybe, a little bottle with some almond oil and playing with different drops.
Absolutely. Make your potions, just change it up by your mood and what you're craving, what feels soothing for you at the time.
The Joy spray that I just showed you guys a little while ago, it has grounding, but it also has some grapefruit in there. So my personal formulas that I use on patients or myself often change depending on, what I feel like or what my intuition is, but also has things that balance each other out. So it may not be like all lifting or all grounding. So play with it yourselves. Are we missing anything as far as for mood or depression? I think vanilla is another one. So vanilla, if you think about it, is very nurturing and delicious. So really good for mood as well. It's a pricey one to get true pure vanilla. So that's another one. And lastly, this is just from my personal stash or formula, but I also make a spray. I carry it around with me. I have one specific to my treatment room with patients, and I do sort of a energy clearing, if you will, sort of to kind of cleanse myself as well as the space of negative energy or negative mood that may be kind of hanging around. So my latest formula that I made contains cypress, cedarwood, sandalwood, a little bit of lavender, a little bit of lemon, and some frankincense. Did I mention sage in there? I don't think so. And sage. So that was
classic.
That was my recent formula for clearing negative energy. Lemon is actually really good, known for kind of transforming negative energy into positive energy. And if you think of just how bright, the personality of lemon is, that makes sense. So the lemon also kind of balances out all that frankincense
Heavy.
and kind of like more earthy, clearing, and the lavender too. So I've been using that to spray on my patients, on myself, in the room to kind of cleanse. I open the windows and spray all of that. And I just make it in a little bottle like this. And I use a little bit of witch hazel, a little bit of water. You could use a little bit of alcohol or grain alcohol or vodka with several drops of each of the oils. And if you want me to show you how I make one of these, I can make a separate video kind of outlining how I do that. It's very easy, and I have all over the house and in my bag, like I was saying. So I love them, and it just takes a moment too to you spray, then you take a couple deep breaths in.
It's so quick. It's transformative in such a quick way. And so it's very fun and creative, and then it just shifts everything very quickly.
And it just kind of forces you to take a minute,
That's
take
true.
a beat, which we often don't
Breathe.
do. Yeah, we often don't breathe. Sometimes when I'm stressed, even when I'm watching a movie or TV, I'll notice that I haven't really taken
your
a
breath.
Yeah. I'm like,
The suspense.
sometimes it's not even suspenseful. It's just the stress of the day. So to spray and then take a deep breath in, there is this theory for those of you who are smokers out there, who were smokers in the past. There is a theory that some of the addiction to smoking comes from allowing your body to take a deep breath.
Yeah, it's a ritual. So just a moment to take a pause.
Yeah, so no shame or judgment if you are a smoker, go at your own pace of quitting if that's your choice. But how wonderful to spray a little essential oil and take a deep breath. So in addition, just reminding you, we talked about doing a steam.
Yes.
You can also put it in the toilet, as Dr. Angela mentioned. You can put oils into a little essential oil diffuser that diffuses cool air into the room, so it's constantly sending it out in as a vapor. You can add it to a carrier oil and massage it on, put it on the back of your neck. Also, I wanted to mention, I don't mention this a lot, but if you guys forgot or, if you remember, I'm an acupuncturist as well.
Yeah.
So what you can do is take some of those essential oils, especially like if you're anxious, maybe apply it to pericardium 6.
So how do we find it?
So from the wrist crease, you would just go 3 fingers, and it has to be your 3 fingers, the width of your fingers, 3 fingers down from the wrist crease, and it's in between your 2 tendons there. But because you're not putting a needle in, it doesn't have to be exact, just dabbing a little bit of essential oil there, about 3 fingers up. You can also put it on the bottoms of your feet. That's actually a point kidney 1. So.
And this one was for anxiety. What was the pericardium point for?
Pericardium would be good for anxiety, or also for chest, anything related to the chest. So whether that be your emotional heart, your physical heart, or your lungs. So you can, do the steam if you've got a little bit of chest congestion, and apply a little bit of eucalyptus oil here, or any of the other anxiety ones. And so again, if you're feeling kind of anxious, or you need a little bit more grounding, or you're having trouble sleeping, something like my favorite frankincense oil, you can apply to the bottoms of your feet. I'm not going to lift my feet up to show you, but if this is your foot, just right where the arch is on the soles of your feet.
And what does this point do under the foot? What is that?
Well, that's kidney 1, so that's also very grounding. It's not a point that we traditionally needle in acupuncture.
Sounds like it would hurt.
So that's a point that you can use, anybody. And you don't even, kidney 1, you don't have to know. Just apply it on the bottoms of your feet in general.
Good.
Kids, you can give it, apply it. So hope you found this video interesting, helpful. Play with those essential oils, mix and match, and let us know what are some of your oils. We just sort of gave you a few basics. This is
there's so many more, and there's so much to play with and explore.
Absolutely. So this is just kind of a starting point for those of you who have not played with the oils at all. For those of you who are really experienced, we'd love to hear some of your blends or your favorite oils. There's some really obscure ones out there. So we love, as Dr. Angela always says, we love to learn from each other, from you. So
your favorite companies, who you've tried, what you like.
My favorite, I will say, I'll just throw in here, definitely an obscure one. It's not easy to find, so this isn't sponsored or like anything like that. But my personal favorite is Snow Lotus, but it's not one that's commercially available. But they do have a website, so we'll list it below. And I don't know if you can buy through their website. We'll kind of look into that. But Snow Lotus is my personal favorite. But there's so many good ones out there. Try to get organic as best you can, and really good quality is important, and undiluted. So that's how it's distilled is important. So yeah, hope you found this helpful. Let us know what you play with and what you enjoy. And Dr. Angela and I will see you back here.
We'll see you back here. Tell us what you want to keep learning about, and we'll keep making videos for you.
And don't forget to give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed.
And share.
Bye,
Bye everyone.